NRI Real Estate Podcast. My name is Sachin Mandot. I'm based out of Canada and I'm very keen to learn more about NRI matters. With me, I have Bharat Sarawgee. Bharat is a chartered accountant in India. He has 20 plus years of experience in NRI taxation and he specializes in guiding NRIs on buying and selling real estate in India and the taxation associated with it. Welcome, Bharat, to this podcast.
Yeah, hello, hi, Sachin.
भारत एनआरआईज का इंडिया के अंदर और कोई एसेट या इन्वेस्टमेंट हो ना हो रियल स्टेट तो होता ही है लाइक दे ऑल हैव सम सॉर्ट ऑफ रियल स्टेट बीट इनहेरिटेड बीट जब उन्होंने खरीदा हो वो जब इनिशियल फ्लैट हो उनका करियर में सो एंड जब वो एनआरआई बन जाते
All
या
NRIs have a dream to have a property in India, a house in India. And there are cases where the parents are having house in India, so automatically it's inherited properties also.
सो कई बार भारत ऐसा होता है कि जब एनआरआईज ऐसी कंट्रीज में चले जाते हैं जहां उन्हें सिटीजनशिप मिल जाती है उसके बाद वो सोचते हैं कि आप वहां पे अपना घर खरीद लें यूएस कनाडा ऑस्ट्रेलिया में और अपनी जो इंडिया की प्रॉपर्टी है वो बेच के डाउन पेमेंट दे दें एंड एंड क्योंकि मैं भी एक एनआरआई हूँ तो मेरे लिए जब इंडिया से आप कुछ साल बाहर चले जाते हो तो चीजें ब्लैक बॉक्स बन जाती हैं और आप बहुत दूर होते हो ऑब्वियसली सो उस केस में व्हाट आर द इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स दैट एन एनआरआई शुड नो बिफोर सेलिंग देयर प्रॉपर्टी इन इंडिया
Yeah. Sachin, मैं लास्ट 20 years से प्रैक्टिस में हूँ एंड आई बीन डीलिंग विद लॉट ऑफ एनआरआई क्लाइंट्स एंड ओसीआई क्लाइंट्स एंड सबको प्रॉब्लम होती है जब वो प्रॉपर्टी बेचने जाते हैं इंडिया में. देखिए, खरीदना इज वेरी इजी, वेरी सिंपल, पर जब बेचते हैं तो लॉट ऑफ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस कम्स इन. एंड आउट ऑफ माई दिस 20 years of experience, आई हैव प्रिपेयर्ड अ चेकलिस्ट कि अगर ये चेकलिस्ट हम फॉलो करें तो हम अपने इश्यूज को, हम अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को मिनिमाइज कर सकते हैं, मिटिगेट कर सकते हैं. So I am sharing this checklist with you right now. Let us come to execution. Since we have completed the planning part, now the execution part. It is again very important. This checklist I have made out of my experience only. Execution में you should review the sale agreement. Sale agreement, it's basically part of the buyer only to get the sale agreement drafted. आपको आपके लॉयर के ऊपर खर्च करने की दरकार नहीं है, बायर ही उसका बनाता है, बट यू शुड properly go through the sale agreement. I always suggest my clients not to accept any advance token from any person when you are doing a sale agreement, because the moment you take an advance, it becomes an obligation for you that you have to sell that property to that person only. And there are people who misuse this provision. So हमेशा ट्राई कीजिए कि आप कुछ भी एडवांस मत लीजिए. आपको जो पैसे लेने हैं, आप जिस दिन रजिस्ट्रेशन करेंगे उसके एक दिन पहले लेंगे या उस दिन लेंगे और पूरा पैसा लेंगे. तो उससे क्या है, एक रिस्क एलिमेंट कम हो जाता है लिटिगेशन का. एज मैंने कहा, योर सेल प्राइस शुड ऑलवेज बी आइदर ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू द सर्कल वैल्यू. देयर आर सिचुएशन वेयर द सेल प्राइस कैन बी बिलो द सर्कल वैल्यू बट अप टू ओनली 10%. उससे ज्यादा अगर आप करोगे तो गवर्नमेंट विल एज्यूम दैट योर सर्कल वैल्यू इज योर सेल प्राइस. ऑलवेज एक्सेप्ट पेमेंट थ्रू बैंकिंग चैनल. प्लीज डोंट एक्सेप्ट एनी पेमेंट फॉर कैश. कैश का कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, आप कैश का कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे. इट कैन बी आइदर थ्रू चेक और थ्रू आरटीजीएस और थ्रू एनईएफटी. देन whatever brokerage and legal charges you are making, don't pay anything through cash. Always make through banking channel and always ask for a receipt, because when you pay through banking channel and you have receipt, you can claim this as an expenditure and this will help you to reduce your capital gain. Repatriation. After execution, it comes repatriation. Now the execution has been done, the registry has been done, and the buyer has made you payment in your NRO account. Normally the payment comes to NRO account. In certain circumstances, it may come to NRE also, but the bank does not allow most of the time. अब NRO में रुपया आने के बाद में, now you can take this fund out of India, repatriate back to your resident country. How will you repatriate it? It's a simple process. Bank give you certain forms. That form need to be filed. Then there is a declaration in the income tax portal. That form is called 15C. It's an online declaration where you declare that you are transferring this fund from your NRO account to your either NRE account or overseas self account. and all the taxes has been paid. The buyer has deducted the TDS, so there is no further tax to be paid. And in certain circumstances, the bank may insist for a CA certificate, which is called Form 15CB. A CA can also give you a certificate that the tax has already been paid. No more further tax deduction is applicable. Now you can repatriate your fund from your NRO account to your NRE or overseas self account. However, the repatriation is restricted to $1 million per person per year. So above $1 million, you have to seek permission from RBI. I want to give certain tips, like when you have done all the transaction. So what I suggest my client, never hand over any original documents before registry. Only do the handover when the registry is completed. Then always collect the TDS certificate from the buyer. You see, I have seen many cases where the buyer has not given you the TDS certificate, and then you don't get the TDS credit also, and ये पूरा का पूरा amount आपका disputed हो जाता है और आप return refund में claim भी नहीं कर पाते हो. So always insist after the transaction, take the TDS certificate, withholding tax certificate. I always suggest my client that whatever is the TDS challan details should be mentioned in the conveyance deed. Then you should always have the copy of your original purchase deed and the latest sale agreement, sale deed, to be kept for future purpose. If there is an inquiry from income tax department, and like it may happen that after 5 years, after 7 years, you get an inquiry, you get a scrutiny notice. So these documents should be handy and should be always be kept in a scan format also. So you can give it to the income tax department. And don't forget to buy your capital gain bonds within 6 months, because there's a expiry period of from the date of transaction. You can only avail this capital gain bond within 6 months. You see, if your property is purchased before 2001, in most of the inherited property, I've seen that property is being purchased in 1976, 80s, and the purchase price was hardly like 10,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. There could be some scenario the land was purchased that time, that rate was. Now you are selling it for crores. So there could be a lot of capital gain implication. But the government here has given you a relief that now you can have a valuation of that particular property on 1/4/2001. Whatever is the market value on that date, from that amount, the capital gain, the cost inflation index will be calculated, and it is a very, very big relief for most of the sellers. So the LTCG is calculated on index fair market value. And I always suggest all my clients always apply for a lower deduction certificate. And whenever you apply, you always get a relief.
Thank you, Bharat, for giving so much practical and valuable tips to NRIs while selling their property. So this was part 2 of the tips for selling real estate for NRIs. We had a part 1 as well. Please watch both of these videos before selling your properties in India if you are an NRI or an OCI. And if you have more questions, if you want to avail services of Bharat, the way to contact him is in the description of this video. You can go to his website, you can message him on WhatsApp, and he'll reply you back ASAP.
Thank you so much, Sachin, for doing this podcast. And I'm available for giving my services to NRIs and OCIs. And I want to create a lot of awareness among them, among the community diaspora.
Thank you, Bharat. Thanks a lot. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.